Hi, my name is Precious, and one of my bachelor's of science is in psychology. Today, we're going to talk about the effects of caffeine in the brain. Is it good or is it bad for your brain? This is a question that sparks a lot of debate. Some see it as a productivity booster. However, there's some growing research that shows that caffeine can have negative long-term effects in the brain. Caffeine is a stimulant that affects the central nervous system. Although it can temporarily enhance alertness, it also comes with risk. So I'm going to talk about 4 ways that caffeine impacts the brain. The first one is adenosine blockage and energy boost. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine, which is a neurotransmitter that's responsible for making you feel sleepy. By blocking adenosine receptors, caffeine prevents drowsiness and puts one in a temporary state of alertness. However, the brain responds by increasing the number of adenosine receptors over time. This means that habitual caffeine consumption leads to tolerance and also creates dependency. When the caffeine intake is reduced or stopped, the excess adenosine receptors cause withdrawal symptoms, things like fatigue, headaches, or even difficulty concentrating. The second one is dopamine stimulation and addiction risk. Caffeine indirectly increases dopamine production, which increases and impacts mood and motivation. However, this effect is similar to that of certain addictive substances, making caffeine over time potentially becoming habit forming. Over time, regular caffeine users may become dependent on it for baseline energy and also mood regulation, which leads to withdrawal symptoms if caffeine is reduced or stopped. This cycle can make it harder to feel naturally energized without the intake of caffeine. The third one is adrenaline and cortisol spikes. Caffeine stimulates the release of adrenaline and cortisol, which is your body's primary stress hormone. While this can enhance short-term focus and reaction speed, prolonged exposure to elevated stress hormones can lead to anxiety. This can also lead to restlessness and heightened sensitivity to stress. Chronic caffeine consumption can also contribute to an overactive stress response, which can make it harder for individuals to relax even when they're not consuming caffeine. And the last one is disrupted sleep cycle. Since caffeine can stay in the system for up to 8 hours, it can interfere with deep sleep, which can lead to sleep deprivation over time, which affects memory, cognitive function, and emotional regulation. Although caffeine has short-term benefits, excessive or regular use can lead to a lot of things, and I'll go over that. The first one is increased anxiety and jitters. The overstimulation of the nervous system due to excessive caffeine can lead to heightened anxiety, restlessness, and even panic attacks on some individuals. Short story, but during my undergrad year, there was one time that it was during final season and I didn't get much sleep. And yes, I know that sleep is so important for memory consolidation. However, I was just studying. So that morning, I went to go get coffee. And mind you, I don't drink coffee. I don't take caffeine, nothing. And during class, I could not stop shaking. I could not stop moving. I had like anxiety. I was just not used to it. Those are some of the effects of caffeine. Okay, back to the topic, but the second one is cognitive fatigue and energy crashes. Initially, caffeine boosts energy levels, but as its affairs wears off, the brain experiences a drop in alertness. Regular caffeine users may find themselves needing more and more caffeine just to feel normal, leading to a cycle of dependence, fatigue, and eventual crash. The next one is long-term brain fog and focus issues. While caffeine does enhance short-term concentration, chronic use has been linked to impaired cognitive function. The next one is higher risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Some studies claim that caffeine has neuroprotective benefits, while other studies suggest that chronic use could accelerate neurodegeneration by overstimulating neural pathways. While I don't personally consume caffeine, nor do I believe that it's ideal for brain health, research does suggest that minimal intake can have some benefit. Now, if you choose to consume caffeine, here's a way to do it that minimizes harm. The first one is stick to low doses. Keep intake below 100 mg per day. Avoid caffeine in the afternoon. Limit the consumptions to the morning hours so it does not disrupt your sleep. Pair it with a nutrient-dense diet. The next one is take breaks. Have some caffeine-free days to allow your brain to reset and to prevent dependency. Next one is my favorite, but consider natural alternatives. While caffeine does offer short-term cognitive boost, it's so important to understand its long-term effects on brain health. If you do consume it, keep your intake minimal and mindful. This is the best way to avoid dependency and cognitive decline. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Also, let me know if there's any more topics you'd like me to further explain or expand on. Bye.